I'm William Shatner. I've done a lot of things in my career, but this takes the cake. This is so cool. You, Joseph, today, it's all about you. You won the internet. Congratulations. It's exciting. It makes me want to celebrate. Makes me want to get up out of this chair. Makes me want to sing. Makes me want to dance. Makes me want to shout. Kick my heels up. Throw my hands up. Toss my head back. No, really, people should be shouting your name in the street.
Come on now. Sing that name.
Sing that song.
Joseph,
Sing it out loud.
Joseph.
I want to celebrate. Put it up in lights.
The internet belongs to you.
No one else deserves to be celebrated like you because you are the best.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CeeLo Green, and you are now tuned in to Joseph Jaffe is Not Famous. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He is not famous at all. Check out this new streaming show. It is perfect. And if you don't, fuck you.
A spring in your step. There is a twinkle in your eye.
I can throw a rhyme down for you real quick. Yes, they call me Thrill. They say that I'm the man. You disagree? How could you? Let me make you understand.
Should we bring her on the show? And anybody find me? And there she is.
Fresh as some bread. Pull right from the oven. When you feel rejected, you get some my good loving.
On me.
She looks wonderful. Mom looks amazing.
Somebody too. Okay, more bugger off now. I've got to show it to you. Love.
Like that?
Joseph Jaffe, ladies and gentlemen.
You just made the new intro of the show. I love my intro. I mean, I really love it. I was just smiling from ear to ear, much like the skull behind me, and little cameo there. Look at Sammy. Sammy staring at me. I love staring back at my beautiful Morky. Well, hello everyone. Hope you are having an amazing Thursday. It is January 20th, and I am just thrilled. I'm just going to come out and say I won the internet. And hello, Mom. If she's watching, I hope she is. I'm thrilled that Amari is in the house. He is the founder and CEO of Amari MC. He is one of my fellow Creator Coin holders. Together, we are winning the internet together, the Web3 together, one token at a time. More on Amari soon. Brian Piper is here. He said, fantastic intro to launch what I'm sure will be a fantastic episode. Well, you have set the bar, Brian, and I better not disappoint you. Lubna is here, and she said, looking forward to the show. Thank you, guys. I love the fact that you guys are, you've become regulars, and you weren't just, I don't know, a few weeks ago. So that makes me happy. Why wouldn't it? I know you guys are hanging out in my Not Famous Discord, and wonderful things happen in the Not Famous Discord. Wonderful things happen when you subscribe to the show. You can win NFTs. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow because it is NFT Fridays. And I will be welcoming Jeremy Posvar, who is one of the founders of Expansion Punks. What an amazing collection this is. I asked him if we could give away an NFT, and he said there aren't any to give away. This project is super sold out at the moment. They have a very small allocation, but I'm giving away a giraffe. So I'm going to give away, I just minted 5 giraffes today from the Giraffe Tower, Gary Henderson's Giraffe Tower. And I will be giving away one of them. I'm not going to give away more, but I'm going to give away one of them tomorrow. All you got to do is join me in the Discord. Join the Discord, subscribe to the show, and you will be eligible, my friends, to win. These are the things that I do for you. Now, one of the things that you will also notice in the Discord is the ability to get some Jaffe coin. I have my Jaffe coin. Amari has his Amari coin. That QR code does not work at the moment. It's just an example. We used to have it on the show, but I don't have it anymore. You have to be in the Discord. You have to be in it to win it. And I still love this. I geek out all the time. The QR code is only live when the show is live. I actually can't wait to hear what Amari has to say about that, because the whole point is I believe in live. You know, I recorded is fine. On demand is fine. All of that stuff is fine. But there's something about live, like live music, right? There's something so powerful. So why not figure out a way to bring the audience in? Why not find a way to realize that we're all going to make it, right? We're all going to make it together. And so money should be changing hands, or incentives should be democratized in many instances. So a little bit about that, and a little bit of, if you're new to the show, now you know how you can take advantage of all of these things. And Tom Morris is here. Super happy that you're here. He said, happy Thursday to Joseph and all my fellow Jaffeites. And you will hear from Tom Morris later, because it is Thursday and he presents, as you know, our segment on philosophy. Well, let's get into our seated soliloquy. And today, the seated soliloquy, I'm calling it Spiralfrog, because we're talking music, we're talking online music. I wonder if Amari has ever heard of Spiralfrog, but I'm going to tell you a little story about that today. So my first company was called Crayon, and Crayon was maybe the world's first social media agency. And we launched in Second Life. So there was a very interesting virtual world application in Second Life. Just unbelievable similarities to where we are today. The whole thing about Crayon is today, Crayola has their 96 big box. And our point of view was we specialized in the 93. We specialized not in the red, the yellow, the blue, the primary colors of television, radio, and print. We specialized in digital and social and emerging technology, if you will. Now, our first client was actually called Music Loads, which was later rebranded. We were the agency helping them to Spiralfrog. It was so interesting because they had naming agencies and consultants, etc. That wasn't what we did. We were a social media agency doing a bit of influencer marketing, earned media. Remember, this was back in 2005, 2006. So if you look at that and go, well, that's kind of commonplace. No, it wasn't commonplace when we were literally writing the book on the subject. So after all of these go-rounds, etc., the CEO just came up with the name Spiralfrog himself. And because he was the CEO, guess what? Everybody loved it, and it stuck. So it's one of those names that actually meant absolutely nothing. But over time, hopefully it was going to mean something. It didn't in the end. But that wasn't really due to lack of trying on their part, on our part. It was probably because of the music industry, because the music industry at the time was just not ready to share. It was not ready to be able to recognize that, guess what? Music, people don't want to pay for music anymore. So the Spiralfrog value proposition was a very simple one. It was free and legal music downloads. Now, this was again before Apple Music. It was before Spotify. It was before Pandora. At the time, Napster and Limewire, the only way to get free music was illegal music. And it wasn't even the illegal part. It was the fact that you could get, porn and viruses and poor quality, and there was no quality, there was no consistency. So the ability to give free and legal seemed like a good value proposition. But in order for that to happen, well, two things had to happen. One is the music industry had to play nicely with each other, had to volunteer and give up their music, or at least sign some kind of deal. And that just did not happen. And the other one was advertising. When all else fails, let's spam people with advertising. And maybe that part of the proposition was a weak one. But Spiralfrog didn't make it. NGMI, not gonna make it. But here we are today, 2022, And we have innovators, and we have leaders, and we have people like Amari that are thinking about the business, thinking about artists, thinking about the future of the business. And guess what? Crypto plays a role, or will play a role. And so maybe it's time to bring him onto the show. And how's that for a setup, Amari? I hope you like it. Let me tell you a little bit about him. And by the way, I mean, I actually feel like what I want to do is read to you the blurb on the website, because I just loved it. I just think it was such a beautiful story. So I'm going to do that. In 2014, Nathaniel Amari Moore packed up his old Chrysler Sebring that was on its last leg with all his possessions and moved to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue a career in music. Being a music producer at the time, he began to learn the ins and outs of marketing so that he could sell more beats and instrumentals to prospective artists. As he did that, more and more artists began asking him if he marketed other musicians besides himself. Seeing the rapidly growing demand for education and marketing services, Amari decided to try his hand at marketing others on Spotify, YouTube, social media, and more. In a short period of time, the marketing services side of the business completely overtook the music production side, and the birth of the Amari production agency began. Since then, Amari Music Productions has garnered millions of website visits to popular articles, services. It's helped over 15,000 artists promote their music through custom advertising campaigns. They've hired a dozen team members and generated millions of dollars in sales. I wonder if that's millions of crypto or dollars. The company has solidified itself as one of the top independent music marketing agencies online. How cool is that? Now, let me tell you about Amari. Amari is the founder and CEO of said Amari MC. And, I've told you a little bit about what they do. They create optimized business plans, marketing strategies, sales funnels for thousands of artists around the world. But what I didn't tell you is with the advent of social tokens and NFTs, they plan to spearhead the marketing of new ways artists can monetize and grow their fan bases in Web 3.0. How cool does that sound? Let's bring him onto the show. Amari, welcome to the show.
Hey, I appreciate that setup, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I was just now listening to your voice. I'm sure you've done some. Have you done some voiceover work? Because you should if you haven't.
I have not. I appreciate it though. No, I've had a couple people say like, you should be on radio or something, but we just have our YouTube show and podcast, so that is about it for my voiceover work.
Well, I might be hitting you up for a little bit of introductions in terms of, my version of "Here's Johnny" would be, "Here's Jaffe." So if you ever feeling like lending that beautiful deep voice to my show, you know where to find me. But more on that another time. We've got so much to talk about. Not only the idea of where music has come from, where it is, where it's going, how social tokens or creator coins can play a role in that. But before we do that, we have a little bit of our usual intro stuff to get through. Yesterday was World Memory Day, and of course, I forgot to mention it. So yesterday being World Memory Day, I just wanted a shout out to anyone that either loves remembering things or hates forgetting things or just has wonderful memories. Hopefully you are creating wonderful memories by being a part of the show. But today, actually, very appropriately, Amari, is National DJ Day, National Disc Jockey Day. So it is a day, I guess, when we celebrate the big players, the startups, the people spinning in their garages that Facebook keeps on bombing every time. So you have a message for DJs out there?
Yeah, keep it spinning and get you guys some NFTs and tokens. That way we don't have to worry about Facebook as much whenever, we're in more of the decentralized part of the world. So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
coming. It's coming slowly but surely.
You know, as I was alluding to at the beginning of 2020, it was amazing. I just saw how many people that were, I mean, clearly some of them professionals, some of them amateurs, were just spinning, or I mean, these days I don't know if they're actually physically spinning anything anymore, but Facebook just kept on ending the feed, and it was like so tragic. You would think like maybe for if you could recognize what was going on and see the beauty of them trying to inspire and connect with people stuck at home, that there could have been just a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a leeway in a sense, amnesty, if you will. And it's sad because constantly, I'm sure you've seen it throughout your life, Amari, professionally. It's always the big players, right? The incumbents that feel they have the most to lose, that love control so much, that just struggle to let go and don't realize by letting go, it can actually be and lead to your salvation.
Yeah. I'll say letting go of the old way. It can be their saving grace, right? A lot of the old players, even some of the current players right now, um, are just slow to change because once you get so many shareholders and lawyers and all that involved, it can be slower to get things done the way you want them. When you have a small team and you want to get something done, you can kind of just go do it. But there's, the story of Blockbuster famously saying that they made a lot of their money from late fees, and thus they didn't want to get rid of that. Just people with blinders on. Just because somebody made money once does not mean that they're, a genius in every aspect. So there's a lot of new innovative stuff happening. I personally, if Spotify does not buy out one of the Web 3.0 companies, I'd see them taking a dive within the next decade. So we'll see what happens.
Who would they buy though if they were to buy from? I mean, am I? And I know we're going to jump around a little bit, but my understanding, what I wrote in the kind of promo for the show today, is that I haven't seen music seems to be a massive category, but that isn't really enjoying the visibility, and the recognition maybe in this Web3 space. I'm probably wrong because I'm not aware of it because I'm not in it. Am I wrong? Or is there just a ton of major players right now and efforts going on?
No, I mean, people are looking at it, and the technology is not there just yet. But today is like a good example of that first step towards it. So today, on a site called Royal.io, there was a Nas NFT that was dropping, and Nas was giving away a percentage of his song royalties to anybody who bought his NFT. So there's two songs that he's coming out with. One of them just happened. I think it was like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A drop just happened. And then there's going to be another one tonight. And whoever owns that NFT gets a percentage of his song royalties. So they're starting to do this next iteration of what's going to be like a decentralized, more fan equity model of the music industry. Because when people have a hand in something, they're much more, they're bigger proponents of it. They're spreading it to their friends. They are more connected to the artist. So today was actually a good example of that. I think that it's the first step. It needs to be a bit more complete. And I go over like why I think it's incomplete on our show on YouTube sometimes. I think that when artists drop the NFT, they're kind of doing it because they've seen other people drop NFT collections. Not to say Nas did it because of that, because he's usually pretty innovative, but a lot of people are. What they should be doing is coming out with their social token first, or their creator coin, which I'm sure your audience is a bit familiar with. And then after they drop the social token, they should build the NFTs on top of the token. So that way there's room for more than just, 1,000 people to buy the NFT. Like on this Nas drop, it sold out in probably 60 seconds, right? And while Nas gets a percentage of any sales that happen on the secondary market on it, it still closes you off to hand-to-hand transactions. Like there still has to be a buyer on the other end of the NFT. Whereas if you have your social token first and then people have to buy your NFT in the social token. So if, for instance, Omari coin, like if I had an NFT and we sold it in Omari coin, that's both benefiting all the people who just hold the social token and also the NFT holders. So there's a dual layer, which is set up really nicely on Rally, to be honest. But there's so much more that can happen with this space that's not happening right now. People can be paid in their own social token, is where I see this going. Like if Nas has his token, he can be paid in Nas token, and then he can say, I'm giving away 25% of the song royalties through a smart contract to my social token. So there's so many different ways that this can go. We're just scratching the surface. This technology is not built out yet. By and large, the Rally is really the only place right now that's people can buy the NFTs in the social token. But as far as all the music royalties, he's still having to do that manually right now. He still has to get his his payments from his DSP, like TuneCore or CD Baby or whatever, and manually give those payments to all the wallet addresses for the NFT. So it's not there yet. People are starting to get this idea, but Spotify would have to. I don't see them innovating enough right now that would make me think that they have a plan to build this new infrastructure that is decentralized, because they're a centralized organization. I just don't see it for Spotify right now.
I mean, they have. You would think, or in fact, they would think probably they have more to lose than to gain. But the reality is, what they might lose short term, they would gain long term. You're absolutely right. The only way for them to buy into it is to buy it. They're not going to be able to build it. And as someone who's lived and worked and consulted through digital and social and mobile, and every large corporation attempts to try and build it themselves, and they end up just completely making a hash of it. The only way to do it is to partner or buy, and to do it soon, until eventually what happens is the new player comes and buys the old player. So we've almost, it's like a broken record, to use a music analogy, right? We've seen how this plays out, and we kind of know how the story is going to end, and yet here we are kind of living it once again. Your example, and there's been a lot of activity. I mean, Linkin Park, even on our own Rally network with Portugal the Man, there's a lot of innovation happening. But when you think about it, it just seems so obvious. You look at what Gary Vee did, right? With you buy the book or a certain number of books, you get an NFT. That the fact that the NFT can be a badge, it can just be a memorabilia, it can be a collectible that has no other utility than to say, I got it, I can keep it, I can sell it, etc. But then there's the ability to start sharing in all the love and figuring out new ways, right, to monetize a whole. It's not just an ecosystem, it's an economy system, right? That's I guess what ecosystem stands for. But well, it probably doesn't. It probably stands for ecology. I was like inventing a new term, Amari, and then I was like, wait a second, no, it isn't. But you know what I mean? It is. It is an ecosystem where the eco should stand for economy. Damn it.
Yeah. The whole creator economy. A lot of these terms are popping up. We'll see which one exactly sticks with them. But you have creator economy, is one of them. Social token, obviously another one. Creator coin, which is like a subset of social token. We'll see which one sticks, but it's really forming community where your fans have ownership of something. And we've already seen the model work. We're just now getting the technology where it's trustless. So before, we have the stock market. Obviously, there's people tying value into shares, and then that has worked for the last 7-8 decades, and now we're seeing the even some of the stock companies starting to do their tokenized stock, and at a certain point there may be no need for stocks, the traditional stocks as we think of them. They may just all transfer to tokens because it makes a lot more sense. Like, I can't go to the Apple store and buy my iPhone, or I don't use Apple. I can't go to the Samsung store and buy my Samsung with Samsung stock. I have to cash that out and then give them the fiat currency for that. But if they had their own token, they could take the payment in that. And like, when it's actually used for transactions, it brings in this whole other value for it. So we'll see where all this goes, but we're definitely on the cutting edge of it. It's very exciting.
There are a couple of very interesting thoughts or builds from there, but one of them is, we spoke about a traditional or an incumbent world, a world of stocks, a world of IRAs, a world of retirement, the way we looked at money. And, we found out that one of your interesting fun facts is that you were an avid Dave Ramsey follower up until baby step number 4. Now, let me just say that I one of the things on the show is I'll be honest when I don't know something, which is often, and when I don't know someone. So I've never even heard of Dave Ramsey, but you have, and so in the spirit of the worst Photoshop ever, it turns out you and I were on his show once, and we didn't even know it. But who is Dave Ramsey? What is baby? This is what happens with when when Rally is 31 cents. If Rally was 34 cents, I would have been able to afford better Photoshop. But just a little insider joke. Who is Dave Ramsey? What is baby step number 4, and why do you not subscribe to it anymore?
Yeah, Dave Ramsey is a financial guru, financial expert. He's one of the OG. He's like the OG financial guy, but he's very conservative in his finances, which a lot of it I see why, and I would tell people to do. But his baby steps, just to run through them quickly, he has 7 baby steps, and this is like this, pathway to building sustainable wealth. And it works well. I'll say with a caveat, if it does work well for the person that really does not want to take any risk at all, like zero risk, and you get very limited reward with zero risk. But baby step number 1 is save $1,000 as a beginning emergency fund. Baby step number 2 is list all your debts, smallest to largest, and knock them out one after the other. So I do like baby step number 2. I'm not a big debt guy, so I do believe in the psychology that if you don't have a lot of debt, you make different decisions because you're not worrying about the debt. So even if even if you're an experienced trader, like I don't do leverage trading. Not to say that you can't make a lot of money with it. It's just that you make different decisions. Like
Right.
your headspace is clearer. Baby step number 3 is build a 6-month, 3 to 6 month emergency fund after you paid off all your debt. All your debt besides your house. And then baby step number 4, 5, and 6, you do at the same time. 4 is you give 15% of your income to retirement. 5 is you pay off the house early, you're chunking away at the house, and then 6 is you save for your kids' college fund, and then 7 is, you know, you live generously. And so I agree with number 7. Number 7 is, you know, you have wealth and you're living generously. It's supposed to be outrageously generous.
Yeah.
And so
Like that.
Dave is, a lot of his principles are, you know, he's Christian, I'm Christian. So a lot of it's like rooted together in that. But at number 4, the 15% towards retirement, just didn't make sense for me. It not to say you don't save for retirement, but if I clearly know how to get more than 10% per year in some mutual fund through investing, like why would I ever put just this money over here? He tells you to put it into mutual funds, and like it just made no sense for me, because if I can clearly outperform that, like even on my worst day, I can outperform that by a significant amount. Like why would I do that? So that's where we deviated. And you know, this was even before I really got into crypto or stocks or anything. This was just putting money into my own business. It just didn't make sense for me to do personally. So that's why I started to dig more into like the crypto and stocks, options, futures, like all that stuff. And I do spend most of my time in the crypto space. So that is where we deviated.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting things there, and the most important one is this idea of saving. Saving is good. Saving for a rainy day. That's a different rule, right? That's a rule that says emergency funds. But I think when we bring it back now to crypto, when we look at the music industry, right? Talk about, we're all in this together. Everyone is trying to figure out change. Everyone is trying to figure out monetization. Everyone is trying to figure out how to benefit from an art, from a craft, etc. There's got to be a better way. And in so many cases, this idea of, I mean, listen, 2 years ago, nobody had any idea what was about to happen. What's the point in saving for 55 or 60 or 65 when we may not see the next 5? So why not? It's not about hedonism, right? It's not about living for today. It's about making the most of your time and the most of your opportunities. And these days, even in the crypto world, I mean, surely you see it as well, which is, you make good decisions and bad decisions on any given day. You feel like crap and you feel like a hero, and then you keep learning and you just keep moving forward, right?
Yeah. And again, I'll just reiterate, I was not saying like, you know, don't save for retirement. It was just that if there's like no, I mean, some retirement funds are starting to do a little bit of crypto, but
yeah, that will happen too.
What'd you say?
I said that will happen too, obviously,
Yeah.
which is these worlds converging. But you know, Amari, and I want to get into this this idea, like specifically talking about the music industry, and what you're doing. But it stuck in my mind so strongly when you spoke about Blockbuster. I've written on Blockbuster. In fact, I think Blockbuster. I don't think I know Blockbuster is. There it is. There's the logo. I can show you on my book, Built to Suck, in the corporate graveyard.
Wow.
The demise of the corporation. So there are two things about Blockbuster. The first one, which you probably know as well, is that Blockbuster came to Netflix.
Yep.
You know,
Netflix came to Blockbuster.
Sorry, Netflix came to Blockbuster and said, "Please buy us," and Blockbuster said, "No." Like, why would we? You know, and walked away from it. But the fact that they were making most of their money from late fees, this is the opposite of what, you know, happened with OpenSea and the SOS token. In other words, and for people that are a little kind of crypto new, what is really happening in the space is that customers, you know, fans, people that buy your product, buy your services, attend your concerts, whatever, it's not enough anymore to just deliver what you said you were going to deliver. You know, I came to a concert, you performed the songs, the sound was good. Cheers, thanks for the memories. Now what's happening is there is proof of, you know, participation, right? There is the ability to say the more business you give us over time, the more we should share in that profit with you. And that is the opposite towards punishing. And that's what Blockbuster was doing, Amari. They were punishing their loyal customers and regular customers for being late. And the opposite is happening in business now. So I would love for you to that's a little setup for this post on Instagram that really just talks about a different way to think about the industry and where it's heading. So maybe you can just take us through this.
Yeah. So before, I think they had you could argue that there was a primary focus on their shareholders. So they were, in a way, you know, sharing in their success. They had, if you have a stock, then you are sharing in your success with the public market. However, for the average everyday person, they were really just putting money into their retirement. And, you know, maybe they did hold some Blockbuster, but it wasn't, you know, enough of a daily interaction with that business to really be satisfied that I'm paying this late fee for returning my video too late to Blockbuster. But now the focus is really with tokens. It can be more on the average everyday person of, you know, if I am, for the music example, if I'm streaming 15 songs a day, I think I have it in that Instagram graphic. I'm overpaying. A lot of people don't realize that they are overpaying for their music streaming, because most of that money is not going, like they say that a lot of the money is going to the artist, but when you like nail it down, there's a lot of administrative costs that are happening with Spotify and, you know, the rest of the streaming services. So with blockchain, the idea is that you have a decentralized organization. So it's still an organization. There still has to be somebody to build and run this stuff, right? It doesn't just come out of the blue. But there's ideally a company that is focused on the community as a whole, right? They build it and they kind of work for the people and work with the people. So they still benefit. Like if you build it, you still need to benefit. But also now people understand in a more tangible way how they benefit too. So I wrote this tweet and, you know, posted on Instagram of people overpaying for their streaming subscription, because even if they were paying 1 cent per stream, that'd be like $4.50 a month for the average person. So even if you double that, let's say you listen to music more than the average person, so you double it, you're still paying $9 a month, which is still less than the monthly fee for Spotify. Now, if we move this to a decentralized platform where, let's say, all you have to do is connect your digital wallet and you dump in your $10 a month, and you're only getting charged whenever you stream the song. So the artist can say that this song is worth 1 cent per stream. They get to pick that rate. So they could say, like, let's say I'm a big artist and I just came out with this project and it's going to be a very popular project. Everybody wants to listen to it. I can window that now and say that they do this in movies all the time, right? They have a big film come out in theaters first, and then they'll put it on streaming services. And then even on the streaming services, they may have it rent for a little bit. You know, it might be $3 to watch it on Amazon Prime or whatever. Then they'll put it for free. So they can do the same thing with music. It can be, this new song just came out, everybody wants to listen, this is 3 cents per stream. All right, it's a little bit older, now it's 2 cents per stream. Okay, now it's, you know, it's in the catalog, now it's 1 cent per stream. Or if it's a less popular song, you know, these are just 1 cent per stream, or, you know, half a cent per stream, whatever the artist wants to do. That way the free market will tell the person, hey, here's what your song is worth. So if people want to play a song for an artist that is 10 cents per stream or 20 cents per stream, the free market decides the price. not Spotify telling the artist what the price is. The artist sets the price and the fans tell them what that price is. So the less intervention, the decentralized way, less intervention from authorities, governments, all that stuff, is when the free market decides what the value of something is. So in my ideal world scenario there, it really doesn't matter exactly where it's built on. This could be, if Rally did have an application for that, that'd be awesome because it could tie in with the social token, like I was talking about. But this could still be built on another blockchain, or another token or coin or whatever, that you just hook up your digital wallet for that. Take out the $10, or you deposit the $10 or whatever, and then on the app it will have the streaming rate of the songs right next to it. So it'll say 1 cent per stream. You decide if you want to play that song, or you can set the controls to say play any song that's 1 cent or less, just automatically play it. If it's above 1 cent, just ask me if I want to play it. Like, there's so many things that can happen with this that just make so much sense. And then the fans can buy the tokens of the artists that they like. So they can buy the governance token of that whole platform, and they can buy the individual social tokens that would tie into it. So that's what I've really been, geeking out on lately. I know some people are working on something like that, maybe not to the extent of everything I said. Some people are working on this though. They're trying to get this underway, and that idea just makes too much sense for fans not to be a part of. One, they pay less, the artist gets paid more. If they buy the token, they're getting benefits off of buying the token, and the artist gets benefit off of people buying their token. And then you add the NFTs on top of that. And that is really an ecosystem in and of itself.
It certainly is. And, one of the things that we're seeing now is, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did the token come first, or did the NFT come first? What we're seeing now in the NFT space is that, guess what? They're all coming out with tokens after the fact, after their launch. What we're seeing in our Rally ecosystem is we're now kind of innovating and experimenting with NFTs after our token launch. But the reality is the reality is that the two are inextricably linked. And I think the example you gave earlier, which is really, really clear in my mind, is that you could actually own Samsung stock. You should be able to buy a Samsung phone with your Samsung stock. It just like blew my mind that is essentially what we are now seeing with the ability to operate, trade, buy, sell, hold, gift, exchange a token, whether it's a brand token, social token, etc. So that was, to me, like a moment of zen, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes so much sense. Like, why, if I go to Disney World, why don't I just have Disney dollars that I can use around the park, and they can go up in value, they can go down in value. If somebody's not into that, they still can take fiat currency. So this is what we do on our website. People can pay for our services in either Omari coin, or they can pay in fiat currency if they want. You just you make it really easy for people. That's the thing that a lot of people who are deep into crypto, a lot of them do understand, but some of these apps and websites, they are not friendly to use. So one of the things I did like about Rally is that, they try to make it as easy as possible for the everyday person to get into crypto. And that was our idea too on our website. There's literally just 2 buttons whenever you're about to check out on the promotion page. And it just asks you, do you want to pay in Amari, or do you want to pay in, fiat currency? So there's ways to make that very easy for people. And I think the easier we make it, like the better this technology gets, the easier we make it, it's going to just start to reach mass adoption more and more. So, yeah.
I'm still, thinking about Disney dollars. And I was thinking, like, how's this for hopefully an expansive idea, or it might be a dumb idea. Most of my ideas are half-baked, but that's fine. I'm not afraid to mention them. What if every ride at a Disney actually had its own price? And so what would happen is the popular rides, the price would increase, but the rides that weren't that popular, the price would decrease. And so you would actually get more ride for your Disney dollar by going to a ride that maybe didn't have the long line, and in doing so, create a new exchange, a new kind of engagement exchange within the actual park.
I think you'd have a psychological barrier. I like where your head's going, but you may have a psychological barrier with somebody paying per ride. That would be interesting.
That's an interesting idea, because some people might be, the ride is too expensive, therefore we're going to go do something else, and that might also have the impact of making the line a little shorter. Just,
I'd say if they had the fast pass do that. So they pay one price. Now the way they're doing it, because we were at Disney, we actually went to Disney 2 years in a row, these last 2 years, and I saw them trying to change their fast pass system, because like the old one wasn't working, and this new one honestly wasn't all that great either. So what they do now is like it's a lower fee you pay up front, but the fast pass only works one ride at a time. You have to book the ride ahead of time. Like you get a window of time that you can show up for your fast pass, and then still some rides like you can't do it with the fast pass. So it would be dope if you just had your digital wallet and they say, here's the current rate of this fast pass if you want to get on this ride, and you can just tap it. And if you want to use your Disney dollars for that, by all means. And then they can, if they really want to cap it at a certain point, obviously they would have to cap it at a certain point, because if too many people are in the fast pass line, it doesn't really work. But there's definitely something there with that. So if they're listening in, all you guys have to do is give us some of those Disney tokens when they come out for that idea. And
yeah, you can actually pay for Disney. If you're watching, you can pay for this free consulting in either Amari or Jaffe coin.
Yep.
Or fiat, but we'll take Amari or Jaffe. You and I have something in common besides the fact that we are both on Rally. And for those of you that do want to follow the Amari coin, you just have to go to rally.io/creator/Amari. But I found out that the Amari coin has earned over 10,000 Rally rewards every week since its launch in October 2021. And I have earned probably also over 10K Rally rewards every week since my coin launched in March of 2021. So I've never missed a week of rewards. And for people that are watching that don't know what that means, it means that every week the entire Amari community shares those rewards. The entire Jaffe economy or community shares the Jaffe rewards. And I get Amari every week because I own your coin too. And so it is a way to actually, I don't have to hoard it for myself. I love nothing more than when I'm sharing my coin with every single holder. So congratulations. Let's see who can keep the streak longer.
Hey man, March. So you've never missed a week since March. Man, that is impressive.
I'll tell you my secret offline. No, I don't know that there's a secret. I don't know that there's a secret. Maybe my secret would be slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah,
I've never had monster weeks ever, and I've never had tiny weeks. So it's just I'm the turtle, man. I'm the turtle, and hopefully I'll win the race.
Honestly, that's been it. So since we take payments for, we sell music promotion services, and we take payments in our token, that gets steady payments every day, every week. We're getting steady payments in. So I think a lot of times people can go look at that. Even though it's on a side chain, they still show you all the transactions on Rally. So you can go look and see who's buying in USD whenever somebody buys in USD, it usually means they're not like a trader on Rally.
Right.
So it's like some crypto novice buying on there. So the more USD buys you see on a chain, and then the more sends with the heart icon, that means somebody sent it back to the creator. So that's usually people paying for our services. So you can just go on there and see. And then I think when the traders do see that, they start to become long-term holders and investors, because they're like, well, I mean, no sense in flipping this. I'll just keep it there. I'll just keep getting rewards for it. So there's a little tip for you guys on researching coins.
There you go. So we are dropping some major alpha today. And my mom is watching from South Africa, and she said that's impressive. She never says I'm impressive, Amari, but she thinks you're impressive. So do I.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
And mom is long and very bullish on Jaffe coin, and now I think she's going to be. I'm hoping she doesn't send me an email that says, forget about Jaffe coin. I want to buy Amari. So who knows?
There's funds to go around. You got to diversify. She won't pull out a Jaffe coin.
She better not, and she better not diversify either. I need bias. I need full bias. So before we get to Tom Morris, I did want to mention as well, which is pretty cool. And I will show that up here as well, that you've launched. Maybe the best way to do it is like so, or like so. I just want to maximize the screen. But this is very cool, Amari. You've launched another Instagram account called Social Token News. What I really love about it is I love the branding, and you're basically just producing these news headlines, right? And these highlights. It's amazing. I think you've just launched it. This thing is going to grow, no doubt.
Yeah, we just launched this. I haven't really done too much promo on it. Just getting the content there for now. And then obviously we have background in marketing and ads. So once there's enough content, I feel like start boosting it with ads. And this is really a way to get people interested in like the social token space, make it really consumable for them, because a lot of people still don't know what social tokens are, what they do, how can I benefit from it, right? That's a question everybody has. Like, what does this mean for me? So we'll tell them what this means for them. And, any cool news that's showing up, you see right there, we got the Nas news about how he was going to launch his NFT through World.io, and that came out today. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That will probably take up a lot of my time this year, just growing that side of things. So this is really our first, I'd say, big venture outside of just the music space. So we have started to like officially, go outside just the music space, go into more of marketing for even other businesses, and then also specifically for the social token space. We'll be very bullish on that this year.
Right, and you can obviously see how the company can branch into into celebrities, artists, different types of artists, and move beyond music as well. It seems like a logical extension. By the way, little fun fact just to share with you: my online persona, my online brand, my personal brand since the beginning has always been called Jaffe Juice. And so at one point I realized that there was the Juice coin, right? There's Jarvis Landry, right? Then there was me being Jaffe coin, and also at Jaffe Juice. And then there was Beetlejuice as well. So there was a lot of noise in the space. Beetlejuice, Jaffe Juice, Jaffe. I say buy all three, damn it.
Yep.
I'm definitely the least famous. That's why the show is called Joseph Jaffe is Not Famous.
Hey, be bullish on all three. The juice coins, to be real with you guys and the listeners, the juice coins are good ones to hold. Beetlejuice just took off like a rocket the last couple months. He has a lot of Instagram followers.
And he was on Stern, though. He was on Stern.
Yep.
And I was monitoring it, by the way, and noticed a tremendous amount of fiat. To your point, these were not crypto people buying; these were people, that listened to Stern. There was like $20, and the fact that they could do that and it happened so easily, I think, just proves your point, which is getting into crypto. The first step, as they say, is often the hardest. So there you go. All right. Well, we are in. All good things must come to an end, but the beautiful thing about Amari is that you know where to find him, and I will make sure that I share that with you. But before we do that, it is Thursday. It is time for our resident philosopher, previous guest, Tom Morris, and this segment is called Plato's Cave. And let's see, Amari, if we can tie whatever he has to say back to what we discussed today. That will be our challenge as we watch him.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Morris. I want to tell you today about Plato's Cave. You may have heard this image throughout your life. In the year 375 BCE, in his great book, The Republic, Plato told a story. He said, imagine all human beings as living in a dark cave. Imagine that we're all chained down and can only look at a wall across which shadows are fleeting. He said, because there's a fire behind us. And between the fire and us, people are parading images back and forth that cast shadows on the wall that we mistake as realities. He said, imagine also that one of these chained people breaks his chains, gets out of the cave, and sees things for the first time in the light of the true sun. He sees things, he smells things, he hears things that he's never experienced before, and he wants to go back into the cave to free everyone else so they can have this same experience of true realities. Now imagine, Plato says, he goes back into the cave, and it takes a while for his eyes to adjust to the light, or dark actually, in the cave, and he stumbles, and people think he's drunk and he's gone crazy because of these strange things he's reporting from this other world they don't even believe in. If some of those people broke their chains, they might stop him from saying everything he's saying. They might do what they did to Socrates, kill him. But he still wants to liberate everybody. And imagine, Plato says, what can happen in your own life if you follow the philosopher and break the chains of illusions that right now hold you back. I posted about this week on social media, and someone said to me, wonder who lit that fire. I wonder who chained those people down. I wonder who's parading those images back and forth. A political resonance in our time that I think Plato may have had in mind. So this image of the cave can be taken to be an image about all of life and the illusions we're prone to, or it can be taken to be a very interesting political commentary. Don't let anyone chain you down. Don't let anyone fool you with false illusions. And for certain, don't do that in the life of anyone else. Make sure that you're not bringing illusions into anyone else's life. It's an image in our time that has multiple resonance. And I would welcome anyone who wants to write me at tomvmorris.com. Give me your thoughts as you seek to understand what yet you need to be freed from. Happy thinking.
And that's why he's our resident philosopher. I don't even think we have to stretch to apply this to the establishment, the legacy, but also false promises and illusions of what the future might look like.
Yeah, I think that was pretty relevant actually to what we were talking about. People saying that, or even like the Blockbuster example, ties in to that. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the things we always do is I try and find a quote to match to the episode, match to my guest. This is what I found for you, Amari. Artists of today can be inspired by the past, but they have to apply present methods if they want a future in music. I love the ability to bring together past, present, and future. I think the beautiful thing about it is, this was, by the way, Lauren Weissman. I love this quote because the future is already here, and the present that we live in is a present where you can partner with Amari MC. Go to amarimc.com/promotion. You can find out all about how they are incorporating their Amari social token into their suite suite of services. It's pretty exciting. First music marketing agency with your own social token. Pretty cool. And Amari, I'm so glad that I sound like Carol Burnett. I'm so glad that we had this time together, although we did not sing a song. But guest number 317 will live on and resonate with me. Please support the Amari coin, rally.io/creator/Amari, where you can actually find out different ways to different campaigns, just understand the vision and the mission behind the token. You can follow Amari on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Discord. And remember that they have a new outlet. I love it. Very visual, very succinct highlights of the news. Instagram.com/@social-token-news. There is nothing left to be said except for the fact that I will be back tomorrow with Expansion Punk's founder, Jeremy Posvar. But Amari, the only thing that remains is Chuck Norris to be able to detail what he thought of you and what he thought of the Amari coin and what he thought of the music industry future with you on its case.
You are Chuck Norris approved.
There you go. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Omari, and I will see you around.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching the show about hope, positivity, optimism, and if there's time left over, a little bit of marketing with your host, multiple author, and global keynote speaker, Joseph Jaffe. If you like the show, tell a friend or two. Please subscribe to the show, and if you want to get inside news, previews of upcoming guests, and much more, visit josephjaffe.com/subscribe to sign up for the show's newsletter.
And despite the best ministrations of your wife, you still look ugly.